there are some major advantages to getting older. I mean, okay, there are some medical issues and there's lack of strength and the atrophy of my muscles. I'm not cute anymore. I mean, shit like that. But what's been getting to me lately is I'm part of a meetup group for videographers and photographers. And I want to work on a documentary. And I asked people to join me there. Now, all these people are in their 20s. I think the leader of the group is 23 years old. Um, Jeez. But they all regard me as that old man who carries a back brace in his camera bag. I don't blame them. When I was their age, I didn't want to hang out with anyone who could talk to me about World War One. I mean, that's the age gap. I could be their grandfathers. And I don't understand most of the things that they talk about. I don't understand the language. And I find, between you and me, I find most of their shit petty. But I want to work with them because I don't have anybody else to work with. You know, I've been to groups, photography groups, where everyone is older than I am. And they are older than I am. And they weren't freaks ever. You could see they're just old people with blue hair, and they're probably in better shape than me. But I just see them as old people, and I guess I just can't see myself that way. I mean, I was at Woodstock, you know? I did a lot of drugs. I am not old. I can't ever be old. I don't know how it goes. But I am on a mission to find people with whom to collaborate on documentaries and on maybe a short film or two. But since I'm a kind of cave dweller, I don't spend a lot of time out of the house except when I'm going to meetups, which are usually fruitless wastes of time, or going out on shoots at the park solo. I don't get to meet anyone. The other day, I was at one of the local parks, and there were three attractive women there, probably in their late 30s, early 40s, and they talked to me twice. And it had been so long since I'd spoken to any women that I froze, and I was monosyllabic. Like they pointed out, an alligator was a big alligator, and I just said, yeah, pretty big. And then one of the women pointed out a beautiful shot for me to take of an aninga spreading her wings in the sunlight. It was truly beautiful shot. I got there too late to take a picture of it, but I then went on to tell her that it was an aninga and she was drying her wings. And then I said, and by the way, that alligator we saw earlier is a mother, and she's probably laid her eggs nearby, and she's guarding them. Come back in August, and you'll see these adorable little tiny alligators. And one woman said, August, as if she's going to come back to see. And then they moved on. I had no follow-up. I had nothing to say. I've forgotten how to talk to people, particularly women. And Florida is really not a place conducive to socializing for some reason. Maybe it's just me, but I meet a lot of people, I talk to few, and I take the contact information for pretty much none. And no one calls me either. Anyway, I mean, the reason we called ourselves freaks is because we were different. And I guess I'm different. There really weren't a lot of freaks, in spite of the way the TV made it look like there were millions of us in our styles and look, and our attitude was mainstream, in spite of a million people showing up for moratoriums and Mod Squad being on television. We were freaks. We were different. There aren't that many of us, and there sure aren't that many of us today. So, I shouldn't be surprised that making new friends is difficult, especially for someone who spends 99% of his days indoors on the internet or editing video. But that's my story, and if you like it and you'd like to hear more, subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of the next time I dump crap on the tube.